prohibits the operations of air transports, both commercial and non-commercial, to fly on May 6 to 7, 2021. Bank in Central Asia will soon launch a digital bank in mid-2021. Good afternoon, viewers. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of information from business, economic, and capital market sectors with Lantai Wijaya, and this is Market Headlines. Yes, viewers, in line with the prohibitions of IndiHome coming this year, the government is also prohibits the use of operations of air transportations, both commercial and non-commercial, to fly on May 6 to 7, 2021.
The government prohibits the use or operation of air transport, both commercial and non-commercial, to fly on May 6 to 17, 2021. This is in accordance with the government's decision to limit the movement of all modes of transportation as a follow-up to the policy to ban Lebaran homecoming in 2021. The Director General of Air Transportation of the Ministry of Transportation, Novi Rianto, in an official statement stated that the temporary ban is comprehensive for all modes of transportation. However, there are a number of exceptions for aircraft that can continue to fly during the implementation of the homecoming ban. This only involves state duties, logistics, and emergency travel. Now we say that the exception was given because air transportation has special characteristics to be able to connect one area to another. Novi explained that the exempted flights still need to obtain a permit in order to operate. An airline that is exempted can fly if there is an existing route permit or submit a flight approval to the Directorate General of Civil Aviation. Novi ensured that the Ministry of Transportation would impose sanctions on airlines that did not comply with the regulations during the Lebaran 2021 homecoming ban. IDX Channel team reported.
The Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs, Airlangga Hartarto, said that the government is currently working on an option to extend the interest subsidy for People's Business Credit, or CORE, by 3% for SMEs until December 2021.
The Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs, Airlangga Hartarto, said that the government is currently working on an option to extend the interest subsidy for People's Business Credit, or CORE, by 3% for MSMEs until December 2021. Currently, the 3% interest subsidy for MSMEs is only valid until June 2021. The core interest subsidy budget provided is 7.6 trillion rupiah.
Pemerintah terus mendorong bunga daripada KUR itu sebesar 3%, dan tentu sedang kita dorong agar 3% ini dapat diperpanjang tidak hanya sampai bulan Juni, tetapi sampai dengan Desember. Nah, tentu pemerintah sedang juga mereview dari program KUR ini, di mana program KUR yang semula bebas jaminan ya, atau bebas daripada agunan yang besarnya kurang dari 50 juta, ini sedang direview untuk bebas agunan sampai dengan 100 juta.
These considerations are reviewed in conjunction with the addition of the CORE ceiling size without collateral. The CORE adjustment is made because the target portion of MSME financing is more than 30% in 2024. Currently, the portion of MSME financing is at the level of 18% to 20%. IDX Channel team reported.
Giant e-commerce marketplace Tokopedia confirmed that 2020 was a good year for e-commerce transactions as the transactions number went up significantly. And to keep the momentum, Tokopedia will boost digital innovations in 2021 by bolstering alliance with governments and also merchants. The e-commerce transactions is predicted to rise in 2021. The growth is predicted to reach 32% and will approximately hit more than 300 trillion rupiah. And see the hype? Giant e-commerce Tokopedia has prepared special strategy, which is boosting digital innovation so that people can transact more in the marketplace. External Communications Senior Lead of Tokopedia, Eko Chandra, stated that in running business, Tokopedia will carry out 5 strategies, including strengthening the foundation, focusing on consumer needs, expanding data utilizations, encouraging of the use of artificial intelligence technology, and also boosting financial performance.
Di Tokopedia kami selalu berkolaborasi dan berinovasi dengan parameter strategis mulai dari pemerintah hingga seluruh masyarakat secara keseluruhan. Hal ini sebagai upaya untuk mengakselerasi adopsi platform digital bagi lebih banyak lagi pegiat usaha di Indonesia, khususnya UMKM. Beberapa contoh yang bisa kami sampaikan saat ini, salah satunya adalah Gerakan Nasional Bangga Buatan Indonesia. Inisiatif bersama antara pemerintah dan pelaku industri ini turut mengajak sebanyak-banyaknya pegiat usaha lokal, khususnya UMKM, dalam memanfaatkan platform digital untuk berbisnis. Contoh lainnya adalah kampanye Tokopedia Nyam. Kampanye ini bertujuan untuk membantu para pegiat usaha lokal, khususnya UMKM, di industri makanan dan minuman, untuk dapat mempertahankan bisnis.
When we talk about Indonesia entrepreneurship, Indonesia is still far behind in other countries, even in ASEAN level. British entrepreneurship experts say that the building entrepreneurs hype should be followed by the good education and make the environment as soon as possible.
Referring to the 2018 Global Entrepreneurship Index report released by the Global Entrepreneurship Development Institute, Indonesia still ranks 94th out of 137 countries. The report shows that Indonesia's Entrepreneurship Index is still lower to several neighbor countries. An entrepreneurial expert from England, who is also Indonesia's project leader of Growth Triangular Approach or GITA, Neil Towers, explained that Indonesia still has to post more entrepreneurs. At the same time, building entrepreneur culture is a must so that the awareness of becoming entrepreneurs can be started from student stages. The problem is Indonesia's human capital score is still relatively lower when compared to the several other countries.
TU Dublin has led, the entrepreneurial rotation within each university has increased awareness amongst the staff and students and industry and academic partners, and validated methodology for use in university planning. Each university will continue to use this HI Innovate network and incorporate the diagnostic tool into their planning routines.
Up to this time, Growth Triangular Approach has developed 112 startups with total value reaching 115.4 billion rupiah. The organization has cooperated with 7 universities all around Indonesia. From Jakarta, Radio Patmo for IDX Channel.
Market headlines will be right back after this quick break. Stay tuned.
Ngapain ya, senangnya foto, ya udah deh, even sampai bikin foto di dalam mesin cuci gitu Pak ya.
Halo Sobat Milenial, berikut adalah pilihan investasi untuk Sobat Milenial. Yang pertama adalah tabungan di bank. Nah, tabungan di bank ini sifatnya sangat liquid, jadi dapat diambil kapanpun dan dalam bentuk cash. Yang kedua adalah deposito. Investasi dalam deposito dapat diambil ketika jatuh tempo dengan tenor tertentu dan imbal hasilnya 5-6% per tahun. Dan yang ketiga adalah investasi dalam bentuk obligasi. Nah, obligasi ini dibagi dua. Ada obligasi yang diterbitkan oleh pemerintah dan ada obligasi yang diterbitkan oleh perusahaan swasta. Yang keempat, investasi saham. Dengan berinvestasi saham, kita akan mendapatkan dividen atau bagi hasil dari perusahaan. Dan yang kelima adalah investasi reksadana. Reksadana adalah produk investasi yang dikelola oleh manajer investasi. Dalam reksadana dapat menjanjikan imbal hasil 10-20% per tahun. So, kamu pilih investasi yang mana?
Bagaimana tanggapan dari pengusaha dengan angka ini?
Tentu membuat kita harus lebih berhati-hati.
Langkah apa yang tepat?
Jadi kita harus bisa menunjukkan kepada masyarakat bahwa vaksinasi itu penting.
Saya Prisa Samodatu membawakan program berita News Screen yang menghadirkan informasi seputar ekonomi maupun juga bisnis dari dalam negeri.
Dan nampaknya hari ini sempat terjadi tarikan lagi, ada potensi untuk rebound paling.
Welcome back to Market Headlines. Seeing more and more mangrove forests are trapped in a critical condition, the Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries is intensifying mangrove rehabilitation program this year. The total mangrove forests to be rehabilitated in 2021 will reach 2,400 hectares.
The Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries gets additional budget of 43 billion rupiah from Finance Ministry. The fund will be used for mangrove rehabilitation program. Mangroves forests need to be rehabilitated and protected because the forests provide a crucial defense against coastal erosion. The roots bind the soil together and change the water flows, preventing the removal and sediment from shorelines. The additional budget is used for the implementation of rehabilitations of mangrove forests in 4 provinces, including 6 districts in Central Java Province, 3 districts in Banten Province, 10 districts in West Java Province, and 12 districts in East Java Province, with a total planting area of 2,008 hectares. Apart from planting, the additional budget is used for seed procurement, assistance with facilities and supporting activities. All mangrove forest rehabilitation activities are carried out throughout labor-intensive system with a paid wage component of 9.64 billion rupiah. From all sources for IDX Channel.
The Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries got additional budget of 43 billion rupiah from Finance Ministry. It used to rehabilitate the mangrove environment. But we may wonder, why is it so important to get many attention from the government, right? And therefore, in this infographic segment, I would like to explain to you on how important is the mangrove ecosystem in Indonesia and also how the condition is right now. So let's take a look at the first graphic, as the IDX Channel team has gathered several data for you regarding reasons on why mangroves matters. First of all, it's the natural coastal defense. And the second of all, it's a carbon sinks as it absorbs carbon dioxide. And then the third one is that they provide livelihoods around the mangroves area and also encourage the ecotourism, as we know and we can see all around Indonesia. We have the ecotourism of mangrove forests. And the last one is that it is rich of biodiversity. So the mangroves are important to people because they help to stabilize Indonesia's coastline ecosystem and prevent erosion. So mangroves also provide natural infrastructure and protections to nearby populated areas by preventing the erosion and also absorbing storm surge by impacts during extreme weather events such as hurricanes. And the most important thing is mangrove forests capture massive amounts of carbon dioxide emissions and other greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. So, and then it trap and store them into the carbon-rich flooded soils. And Indonesia's mangroves contain by 3.14 billion metric tons of carbon. And this is one of the third of the global coastal carbon stocks. Well, this is important ecosystem service as we face the climate change. And this buried carbon is known as a blue carbon because it is stored underwater in the coastal ecosystem like mangrove forest, seagrass, bass, and also the salt marshes. But yet, despite their importance, mangrove forests are under the threat. Globally, over the third have already disappeared. And when it comes to Indonesia, Indonesia contains the largest area for mangrove forests in the world, and therefore government works hard to protect the mangrove forests. Let's see the target set by the government through the next graphic. We can see 2021 Indonesian mangrove restorations by the government. As we can see, the Ministry of Finance just gave additional budget to the Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries by 43 billion rupiah, and it will be used for the mangrove rehabilitation. And then the mangrove plantation itself is targeting 2,008 hectares. And then mangrove development will be in the Central Java, West Java, Banten, and also East Java. And then apart from planting, additional budget is used for seed procurement, assistance with facilities and supporting activities. All mangrove forest rehabilitation activities are carried out through a labor-intensive system with a paid wage component of 9.64 billion rupiah. With a total additional area of mangrove forests that will be rehabilitated to 2,400 hectares, the absorptions of labor during COVID-19 pandemic will also increase. And the labor-intensive activity of mangrove rehabilitations have been proven to help communities' economy during a pandemic. And plus point, government has regular target on rehabilitating the mangroves itself. So let's see the target in the next graphic. Through the next graphic, we can see regular mangroves rehabilitations target by the government. So regularly, government will rehabilitate around 391 hectares mangrove in 2021, and then the next year, and also the upcoming years. And then what's the impact? The impact is that it can absorb 1,673 workers approximately. And the next one is that it can absorb around 16,000 days of work. And yes, the mangrove rehabilitations is the ministry's regular program. The aim is not only as an economic activity, but also protect and restore the coastal ecosystems for the match. And mangrove forests are found in many parts of Indonesia, with the regionally important mangrove ecosystems located in Papua, Kalimantan, and also Sumatra. And about 3 million hectares of mangrove forests grow along Indonesia's 95,000 kilometer coastline. And this is 23% of all mangrove ecosystems in the world. However, over the past 3 decades, Indonesia has lost 40% of its mangroves. This means Indonesia has the fastest rate of mangrove destructions in the world. So let's see the proportions of the mangrove forest, good and the critical conditions through the next graphic. So the next graphic, we can see among the total of 3.3 billion hectares that mangrove forest in Indonesia has, 19% of it in the critical conditions. Meanwhile, the 81% of it is the good conditions. But even though the proportions is bigger for the good conditions, but the critical conditions is needed around 19%. And the mangrove ecosystem is in a forest of 460,000 hectares, which is 72%, and 177,000 hectares outside the forest area, which is 27.82%. The mangrove forest outside this forest area is a focus on the Ministry for Rehabilitations. And yes, viewers, mangrove are the magical forests where we discover nature's secrets. They straddle the connections between land and sea and nature and humans. So let's appreciate what nature has given to us and let's protect as much as we can as well. Stay tuned to Market Headlines because we will be right back after this quick break.
Presiden Joko Widodo memiliki optimisme yang tinggi terkait dengan proses vaksinasi nasional yang sedang dilakukan saat ini. Bagaimana tanggapan dari pengusaha dengan angka ini?
Tentu membuat kita harus lebih berhati-hati.
Langkah apa yang tepat dilakukan untuk bisa meningkatkan pemahaman masyarakat?
Komunikasi publik adalah kunci. Jadi kita harus bisa menunjukkan kepada masyarakat bahwa vaksinasi itu penting.
bisa tidak sih benar-benar dijadikan fokus utama dari mata pencaharian?
Kalau untuk jadi mata pencaharian utama sebenarnya saat ini bisa, karena saat ini kan kondisinya semua itu sosial media sudah semakin berkembang pesat, dan menurut aku kesempatannya masih besar, tapi ya tetap diingat tidak bisa instan dan harus komitmen. Pengen banget ke Derawan buat menyelam gitu kan ya, scuba diving.
PT Garuda Indonesia Persero Tbk telah melakukan pemutusan kontrak penyewaan 12 pesawat Bombardier CGR-1000.
Kita memutuskan untuk mengembalikan 12 pesawat Bombardier CRJ-1000.
Pemerintah berencana memberikan insentif pajak penjualan atas barang mewah atau PPNBM untuk kendaraan bermotor.
Tujuan dari insentif ini adalah dalam rangka mendorong pemulihan ekonomi lebih cepat.
Welcome back to Market Headlines. So let's take a look at Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. So earlier today, JCI was opened at the level of 6,092.83, and then approaching the closing time of the first session, the index was on the level of 6,089.58. And the index was showing weakening trend by the second session's closing time. The index was closed at the level of 6,070.21. In short, the JCI went down 0.02%. Next, we're going to see the sectoral movement. Leading the dynamics of today's trading, we got finance as leader of strengthening trend that went up 0.75%. We got trade that went up 0.47%. We got mining that went down 2.38%, and basic industry that went down 1.25%. Moving on to the top gainers and the top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading sessions. We got BBCA that went up 1.06%. We got BANK that went up 6.25%. We got PNBS that went up 15.32%. And we got the winner, which is FILM, that went up to 24.27%. Meantime, for the top losers for today's trading stations, we got ANTM that went down 5.26%. We got Astra International that went down 0.47%. We got Telkom Indonesia that went down 0.88%, and Agro that went down 0.94%. Next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. So rupiah opened at the level of 14,551. Rupiah was also showing weakening trend towards US dollar. I was closed at the level of 14,544. In summary, rupiah went down 0.01%. Bank Central Asia will soon launch a digital bank in mid-2021. The BCA management said that the initial phase of BCA Digital Bank will focus on funding and payment activities.
Bank Central Asia will soon launch a digital bank in the first half of this year or mid-2021. BCA President Director Jahja Setiatmaja said that currently the company is preparing a digital bank by converting Bank Royal Indonesia into BCA Digital Bank. He said that the BCA Digital Bank will be prepared to operate and attract its own market through digital banks. The main target is digital-savvy millennials. Jahja revealed that in preparing a digital bank, the company allocated equity of less than 2 trillion rupiah. Meantime, he added that for the initial phase, BCA Digital Bank will focus on funding and payment activities. The director assessed that the loan segment for digital banks is not easy to determine because it is in the middle between conventional banks and online fintech loans. Jahja said digital banks cannot provide fast loans with exorbitant interest rates because they have different supervision by the OJK, but it is also not easy to target large loans such as corporations through digital banks. IDX Channel team reported.
In line with the sales growth in 2020, Era Jaya Swasembada managed to achieve a net profit increase of 107.7% year-on-year to 612 billion rupiah.
Era Jaya Swasembada managed to record a 107.4% increase in net profit to 612 billion rupiah compared to the realization in 2019 of 295.1 billion rupiah. The increase in net profit was in line with sales growth of 3.5%. Deputy President Director Hasan Aula explained that this growth was supported by various factors, ranging from the high demand for smartphones, the Internet of Things, and its ecosystem during 2020. For information, until now, Era Jaya Swasembada's total outlets have reached 1,053 stores, 88 distribution channels, and cooperation with more than 65,000 resellers. As for the limitation of social activities during the pandemic period, including work from home and school from home activities, it is actually a blessing for the company, as reflected in the increasing demand for qualified and quality supporting devices. IDX Channel team reported.
Aside from market conditions, as coronavirus pandemic takes a big role on current economic situation, here is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business and Capital Market Channel. I'm Claranta Wijaya. Have a nice evening and stay safe.